one of the most difficult things in a marriage is to budget.
Is having a joint account something that protects both parties? And you're both signatories to the same account. Whenever money is coming out, you have to consult
The Bill Gates of this world, do they have those conversations? Because I don't know, I'm trying to think about it. I have 50,000. What can 50,000 do for me now? I always ask myself, what's the best life I can live now? Because I've seen it go.
Some men or women also like to do like their own personal investments. Why do we do that actually?
One thing that money does in your life is money gives you a voice.
Yeah.
You like it or not, money gives you a voice. No one who has money wants to be controlled. No one.
The way I think you view money is that money is miscellaneous. Someone calls you from the bank. Oh, hi. Are you authorizing this amount of money for? I'm like, no. What is happening? At the back of your head, you're just thinking this is miscellaneous that we did not discuss. Oh my goodness, what is this? Yeah.
So my budget is miscellaneous.
Yeah,
That's
and then,
budget.
yeah, 90% of your budget is miscellaneous. Let's be honest.
Welcome, Mrs. Salamba.
Thank you. Welcome, Mr. Salamba.
Yes, happy new month.
Happy new month. Is it a new month already?
Yeah.
Okay. It's always a good time and never a dull moment when I'm with you. So I'm excited. I'm excited today.
Yes.
What are we talking about?
Money.
Money. Oh,
Yes.
hot topic.
Yes.
One of my favorites. To talk about and to have. Yeah.
You want to talk about you giving me money?
And receiving more. I'm talking about receiving more money
After the discussion,
in
like,
marriage.
yeah, that's when he stops and like, I want to go home now. But we want to talk about this illusion, this illusion in marriage. You call it an illusion because whenever you're doing marriage preparation, marriage counseling, it's what we're normally taught in marriage counseling classes about budgeting. Yeah, and how a couple budgets without fighting, because one of the most difficult things in a marriage is to budget. Yeah, and budgeting is a very weird animal. I've looked at it in the various scope of marriages.
Yeah.
We're doing our own. I pulled out as a third party. Yeah, but
Objectively looking.
Objective, yeah. And from when we did our own marriage preparation classes, we were told about budget together, all those things. One of the people who we have really learned a lot in terms of marriage talks about various wonderful small nuggets. Have a budget night. Have this. We always talk about let's plan for money talk about money when there's money.
Yeah.
Which again, in theory, sounds good. Talking about money when you have money, but again, in theory, it's also bad because talking about money when you have got money also at times shows you how much money you don't have.
Yeah.
Then again, I looked at other spheres of budgeting and I'm thinking, why do couples fight about? Is it the hardest thing to do? Actually, families do move on without budgeting. It's very funny. They actually do proceed. They don't die. They actually proceed. But I've seen budgeting in various dimensions. But that's what I want, before I go to those dimensions, that's what I want to talk about today. What is it about budgeting and fighting?
Yeah. When you're just talking, I was thinking about the scenarios where budgeting could be easier in a marriage. The first thing that pops in my mind is that it's easier to budget when the man has more money that he's bringing to the table.
Amen. Say more. Yes.
Than the wife. And I don't want to be biased or anything. It's almost as though, maybe he's bringing in the bigger chunk or whoever. No. When the man is bringing in the bigger chunk of money, then it's easier for both parties to sit down and discuss how to budget. But when the woman is bringing in more money onto the table, it's like a disaster. When both parties are bringing equal or, bumper to bumper amounts of money, it's also a bit tricky. So I don't know if it's like something to do with agenda and empowerment thing? How do those two things just come and bring conflict in the marriage, especially when the woman has more financial muscle or has equally as much financial muscle as her counterpart?
I think that's been the hardest thing to navigate. In my experience looking at relationships, it's been the hardest thing to navigate, and that's spot on because there's a couple I've journeyed with for a couple of years actually. It's been a couple of years I've seen them last. They went through a very interesting cycle. They went through cycle 1A, where the man had a lot of money. The wife was not earning as much, and the wife used to say, let's plan the money, let's budget for the money. Then they went through a phase when she began getting more and he was not getting more. Then he began coming on, let us budget. And now there was no room for discussion whatsoever. That ship had sailed, it had drowned. Then I've seen another couple as well, whereby the gentleman was not earning at all. The wife was earning, and the wife was basically doing budgets, but ex parte. Solo budget.
Yes, on her own, doing her own thing. The money's coming. This is what I wanted to achieve.
Yeah, and that's it.
Yeah.
Then they had another cycle where now he was able to have enough money like she had. And when that happened again, they never met to budget. But now the wife was like, let's meet. We need to plan for the future of the family. And he wasn't going to hear it at all. So then again, of course, I've seen marriages where it's just the man earning the money as well. He's just the only one earning the money.
Yeah.
He's the one bringing in all the money. And again, I've seen couples where again the wife is like, I don't know what he does with his money. I don't know what the money does. I tell him that he does not want to do all those things. And so then I think I've seen, I'll be honest, all these years I've done this work, I think I've seen 2%. Yeah. 2% of couples that budget without fighting. I think I've seen actually 2%, which is a very low number. Who sit down and say, okay, fine, this is where we are right now. What are we going to do?
Yeah, money is very sensitive. It's very sensitive. It's like another level of intimacy in the marriage that you don't really come into full awareness until you're in the marriage. And then you realize, wait a minute. My money is not my money. My money is our money. And his money is not his money. His money is our. And coming to that point of this money is the family's money. There's a lot of push and pull and tugging. And, even now, we haven't really gotten the right rhythm for how to handle finances. But how can we make it easier? How can, two people in a marriage coming together into that space of what do we do that works for us? Is having a joint account something that protects both parties? And, you're both signatories to the same account. Whenever money is coming out, you have to consult, and it goes deeper than that. It goes into your money language, Some are spendthrifts and the others are a bit cautionary. They want to really account for every penny, and I mean every penny.
And I think if you put it that way, about accounting for every penny, is it also where we are in life? I'm trying to think about this.
Yeah.
Like, do the Bill Gates of this world, do they have those conversations? Because I don't know, I'm trying to think about it.
I think to some extent they do. There has to be a common understanding between you and your partner, how much you can spend without having to call a meeting. How much, and it depends, like you said, like, where are we in life? Are we the multi-trillion billionaires that, spending 10 million on a Sunday afternoon is easy? Go on, darling, do whatever you want. Or are we, working hard to make that 10,000 shillings, $10,000, like, at what stage are we in life? And that really helps to kind of set the tone of how much each person can spend But at the same time, I kind of feel like money and the character of a person kind of come together. And it doesn't matter,
Yeah.
millionaire or thousandaire. There's something about our character and how we view money that really speaks into how we can come together in one pot in a marriage, or keep whatever we are bringing for ourselves and really apportion what is going into the family pot. I think character and the finances kind of go together.
I think if you take character and finances,
Yeah.
I want to add another third wheel to that relationship. You have character, you have got money. Then now, there is the way you view your partner in terms of finances. Why I'm saying this is because I remember like a couple I was with in Israel many years ago.
Yeah.
And I remember we were having a discussion with them over lunch. I can't remember where we had come from. I can see the city in my head, but I can't remember where we were. But we're in Israel. And we're having a discussion about spending cash. And they're like, okay, so how much can you spend without telling your partner?
Yeah.
And the lady said, 300,000 shillings. You know, and I remember keeping quiet because I thought 300,000. Okay, that time I think if I'm to spend 10,000 without a meeting, it's going to be a long afternoon.
10,000, really?
It's going to be a long afternoon.
10K.
It's over 10 years ago. 10K. I have a long family
10
meeting.
years.
Yeah, you have long family meeting. Why did you buy shocks? That's the candid shocks. You know, so there's something about it. But I looked at something else. Then I saw another couple again.
Yeah.
Whereby they were building a business together. And this guy was building a house and all these things. The wife was running the finance and everything. And again, you see a level of synergy. They were quickly taking risks, you know, moving like this quickly. They're talking the same language. We're going to jump like this. We're going to jump like this, you know. I had a couple the other day telling me, you know what? No, we jumped. You know, we went to this particular country. We flew out to Europe. We took out 30 million shillings, pumped into something in Europe. You know, that's those discussions. Then another couple I sat with. And this one now is where it got me in a very interesting way. And I think this one is what taught me a different thing about money in looking at marriages I'd never seen before.
Yeah.
And we were discussing about transaction, and this guy made an offer to someone. The wife was in the room without consulting the wife. I figured that I would get, at that point, a heart attack for saying. Just saying, I'm going to give, I would get a heart attack at that point.
Yeah.
And the guy said it without blinking.
Comfort.
There was no consultation at all. And the wife is at the back. She's next to him.
Punching the numbers.
And she's putting the numbers in. And she has ignored what he said.
Yeah.
He actually doesn't have the word. Actually looking at what is the big again. And after that, I think I started them the next day. I asked them, let's discuss this. How do you say a figure like that? You give out this amount of money. And your wife does not get a stroke. Me, a person was just saying it, I'd die. Number two, my wife would kill me for saying that. I'd die.
Yeah.
But I learned something from them. And I learned something. We talked about character. And I learned something. That they have been in a journey in terms of finances. Of course, they come for a different reason. But in terms of finances. But also the wife's view of him in terms of money was very different. And I realized that his view of his wife about money is also very different. That she knows what they spend, she knows what is where, all these things, there's all that knowledge. But I found it interesting when I asked him, so, like, would you buy property and not tell your wife? He said, I've bought a lot of land. I do the transaction, finalize the deal, sign the documents, finish, pay for it. Then I tell her later on, that building is yours. You know? And I thought, okay, what is this? Then I was in another session where someone was saying, oh, by the way, no. You can't even buy an asset not telling your spouse.
Yeah, I think there's an element of trust that needs to be built heavily when we're talking about finances. It's not just a switch that you can turn on, you know, especially since we come from different backgrounds and we speak different financial languages. You know, one couple who've been together, one of them grew up in, you know, relatively well. They went to school, they never struggled to pay rent, but they saw how hard it was to make those ends meet, you know? And then maybe they're married to someone who didn't have that same background, right? but that person understood how to survive. The money would come and go and they'd make more. The money would come and go and they make more. And these two people are in the same marriage. One, having grown up comfortably, but understanding the value of money, that you have to work for it to come. Understanding that you have to assign, a task to whatever money you get at the end of the month or the end of the week or whatever. And then the other one who's grown up haphazard, in the sense that money came, money went, money came. But you always knew like the next thing would come. And so their view of money is different from someone who had a consistent flow, right? But I kind of see where a conflict can arise in those two. Because one is working hard, knows the sweat of this money. It has to do what it has been planned to do at the beginning of the month. Whereas the other person is looking at money as more of a means to an end. Let's get it done. Let's get it done. Is this sounding familiar?
I got you over a long time ago.
So how can these two people come together? What is the right way to handle finance? It's like a question that we never really know the full answer to, because the financial situation is so fluid, right? Sometimes there's, that however much money, 10 million that you have to spend. And it's like the rules of engagement are a little bit more flexible, if the marriage is in a good place, right? And then there's those moments when maybe on one end of the scale, it's not as liquid. And so the other person, because of their love language, either tightens the use of the money, or because they're used to it coming and go, they know it will come. It's just their character. It's just within them. They know it will come. Then they want to continue sustaining a certain lifestyle, or however they lived before that tightness came in. How do we reconcile different money languages? And is it even possible? Like, where do we start? For me, how I grew up, this is the right way for me to handle money. I have to budget. I have 500 shillings. I want to spend 50 on a dress. I want to spend 10 on hygiene products. I want to spend 20 on food. I want to spend 30 on this. Yet the other person is like, we have 500 bob. Let's do something, one big thing. The money will keep coming. So how do you reconcile different money languages? And those are not the only ones. There's lots of different. They're fueled by fear. They're fueled by experiences. They're fueled by, scarcity mentality. Self-esteem. I've seen like very wealthy, extremely wealthy people also finding it very difficult to spend the money that they have. So money is it's almost spiritual.
It is spiritual.
You never fully understand it. You never really fully understand. So whatever money language that a couple is speaking, how can two people in a marriage come together and speak the same money language?
Let's put it this way. And I think let me try, let's be more maybe practical, just to have people come on board. Let's put ourselves there on how we were both raised, right? Through your eyes, right? Just through your eyes, based on how you are raised and based on how you know that I was raised. What is our difference what has been the struggle?
What's been how I see yours?
How you are raised in your interaction with money based on your upbringing versus my interaction with money with my upbringing. Now, this interaction based on your eye view because of you are in your house, you are raised there. Then there's interaction of your eye view based on what I have shared with you, right? When you put that together into a room and you're thinking about money, we have got no money or we have 10 million, whatever it is. From zero, just think both extremes. But what is like now when you want to budget or plan, that's the first thing to just to look at. Where did we struggle? We're not there yet, but where did we struggle? Then I'll give also my own view.
I think the way we view money is different.
Absolutely
different. I think for us, I was getting there. I was getting there. I think for the both of us, it's been difficult because I believe that I'm a very structured person.
Thank you for using that.
I love structure. I really believe that thing that you love to say, that structure defines function. I want a system that is running. I want the math to math. I want the logic to just, I want to flow with the logic. I want to know that last month I made 10,000 shillings, and this 10,000 shillings, I'm committing it to do this, and that. I don't want any ifs, buts. I don't want, there's like no. We have a miscellaneous money fund. Let's use whatever is in the miscellaneous to take care of these other things. Anything out of the structure that we've set in the budget at the beginning of a new month is what we will follow. Anything out, we do not pursue unless we come into a meeting and consult and agree, okay, we need to get new tires. This was not yet at the beginning of our budget, so how do we go across this? And miscellaneous will not cover it.
Okay.
Well, you on the other hand, I don't know. I think the way I think you view money is that money is miscellaneous. Although in the miscellaneous... I mean, it comes in and it does more than it was assigned to do.
No, like it's have a budget. Miscellaneous.
Yeah.
So my budget is miscellaneous.
Yeah, and then,
budget.
Yeah. 90% of your budget is miscellaneous. So it will be like, something came out of the account. Okay, I didn't, someone calls you from the bank. Oh, hi, are you authorizing this amount of money for? I'm like, no, what is happening? At the back of your head, you're just thinking this is miscellaneous that we did not discuss. Oh my goodness, what is this? So we've had a lot of...
you still are 90% miscellaneous. I've never seen myself that way.
No, honestly. Let's leave. Let's be honest.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I think as a woman, maybe women budget differently because they kind of know what they need and they fit it in the budget. Like, we want to account for everything that we're spending. I think for most women, people are different. But I think, I don't know, men like to spend on big things. Like, I'm just speaking from the experience that I've had with you with the miscellaneous. But I've seen that you have a structure, but you're also very liquid with money, if I can say that. And for me, it's different because I like structure, but I also like specifics. I like to stick to the plan that we agreed. And you are very like, you go with the flow. How do you view my money language?
Well, I'm still hangover to that budget. I'm still doing a budget. I'm thinking, hey, rent, hey, maybe miscellaneous. Yeah. Then mine is miscellaneous.
Miscellaneous, and then
Chris.
What?
I think, as you said, we were raised differently. I think, foundationally, I think you grew up with a lot of security. And I think as much as you know how to work for the money, you grew up with that security whereby, okay, fine. And very early on, I think you'd be given money. You'd be told, here's money for this. And you'd budget for it.
Yeah.
You'd budget for it. You're in union, tell this is your money, you budget for it. I'll eat this, I'll do this, I'll do this. It's a way that it has always been there. This is a structure. Now, I think it's not a bad thing. I think it's actually a good thing. Has it frustrated me over the years? Of course.
Really?
Absolutely. There are days when I just have to sneak here and get that thing fast.
You don't like our nice budgets
we shall do the case
on
later.
Excel.
We'll do the case later.
Like those.
The case later.
The balance account, like this is how much we take
are
it
now
off.
in the red.
Yes.
You are now in the green. Because miscellaneous is always at the bottom. If miscellaneous goes to the top. But you see, you are raised that way, and that's being a relationship with money. That I can't say you don't spend, but I think you always want the cushion of if I want to spend, I need a cushion. I think before you release, you look at what is remaining. Before you release, you look at what is remaining. And that's not a bad thing. The difference is that I was not raised that way. And I'll give two things. One is that I had a dad. My father was a firstborn. So my father was a very, very structured and a very cautious person. My dad never took risks. My dad never believed in taking risks at all. My dad budgeted, planned everything to the limit. We have got 3 kids in school. He'll know. My dad, you never told him about school fees. He knew I'll give 4K there, I'll give 3K here, I'll give 2K there. He did that. Raised those houses. Everyone came to a house to eat.
Yeah.
And everyone ate.
Yeah.
But here's the part. Is that I saw my dad going through this, I can't say the first part of my upbringing was not difficult. The first part of my upbringing lived comfortably. Grew up in Kileleshwa. It was comfortable. I saw my dad getting things done. He drove a nice car. Then I saw what happened when the rug was pulled from under his legs. And I didn't see the capacity in him to rebuild. I didn't see the capacity in him to restructure and move beyond what he had been given. I saw that he was cautious and he worked well with what he had been given. But I never saw him risk to try and enter into another level of life that was not within his scope of reference.
Yeah.
So my dad was like, fine, we're earning 50,000 a month. We are going to live at 50,000 a month. That's how we're going to live. And whenever I had that, I lived that life of we are living here, we're living here. Then I saw the rug pulled under his feet. And it was pulled, I realized that the savings could not keep us. The savings could not pay school fees for all the children that were in that house.
Yeah.
I realized that in his fear, even his level of investing could not sustain, because he also invested within the parameters of structure, and he was more contained and very cautious in his approach. My dad was that way. You're going to shopping, my father would not. My mom never even used to bother with it. In fact, I think my mom was more like me technically. My dad would take the pen and the paper, like, okay, we're going, how much is soap, how much is the first of all, it's time, give you exact money, the change is 19 bob. Bring back that 19 shillings. But when the rug was pulled under from his feet, I was a teenager then, I was like, this thing actually doesn't work. This thing actually can end. When finally we are moved out of Kileleshwa, we have moved to Babadogo, and we are staying there. I'm thinking, this thing didn't work. This kind of thing didn't work. When the money was there, we could have eaten it.
Yeah.
This thing did not work. In the process, what that taught me was that if I don't stretch, I cannot reach.
Yeah.
The danger is, which I've realized and we've seen over the years, is at times if I overstretch, I fall. When I get it right, it's a master stroke.
Hey.
Yes.
You've gotten some
I
really
miss.
key master strokes
Yes.
in our marriages.
Yeah. So-
and also,
When I miss.
yeah, some misses
Yes,
have been.
I've been there.
Yeah.
So when we approach money, when now me and you are sitting to discuss about money, there are two things that come into play. Is that my mind is always on, we are here. It's today. Let's push the limits for today. What can you do today? What can you get? How can we live? So I don't look at what is I have 50,000. What can 50,000 do for me now? I always ask myself, what's the best life I can live now? That's my first thinking. Because I've seen it go. And I've seen it go, and it started with my dad saying, hey, those days. You remember we used to have this. You remember we used to have, and I'm thinking, okay, now this is not helping anyone. I remember we had that land. You remember this? I almost did. That, I had phobia for that. So the way now look at this now. When we meet to budget, we have two phobias. You have the phobia of lack, right? And I have the phobia of, if I don't do this now, I may never do it. Live the best life now. Do what you can now. Jump now. Push now. So when you sit to budget, it becomes a different because you will think, as I release, I am losing. And me, I'm thinking, if we release actually, we may get there. Then when we get there, we might find something else for there, which will move us to the other place. Which when we use, we'll get the other place. So I saw my dad keep the status quo. And I'm allergic natural status quo. Now, I'm saying this because when couples come to budgeting, this is where we fight.
Yeah.
Because we don't fight because of money. We fight because of our life philosophy.
And I totally believe that.
Yeah.
It's a spiritual thing. It's a philosophical thing. It's your inner child. It's your trauma.
Trauma, yes, trauma.
Your trauma being expressed through how you spend money. And, just hearing you say this has given me another dimension of your story that maybe I don't really focus on to help me understand how you spend money. Like what you've shared now has just like, I have this light bulb go on in my head, and it sheds light on, or helps me to understand more why you're very assertive sometimes when we're at the crossroads. And are we jumping? Are we taking this financial leap or not? And you would be the one saying, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's just jump. Let's see what's on the other end. And I'm the one who's like, okay, how far is the jump? Are we landing on, something? Is there like a trampoline that's going to propel us back up to a higher level? I'm asking all the questions, but you're more like, this is a survival thing. I'm surviving knowing that I have a cushion, but you're surviving, I want to see what's on the other side. Because you've seen the impact of, just staying on the safe side, and then the safe side not working, and then not having a way to pick up from that. So that's just, wow. Like, I've never looked at it from that. And thank you for sharing that with me.
Like, you get the tissue now.
Why do you need tissue? Why do you need tissue for that?
I'm saying, I'm saying, sorry.
Yeah, no, yeah. I saw that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Because you see, I think it's a philosophy thing. It's because we all have our philosophy.
Yeah.
Whenever it comes to money, we are all running from something, and we are running towards something, always. And if a couple can reconcile what they're running away from and what they're running towards, then now they can have compromise on their route.
Yeah, I kind of feel like there has to be an honest conversation. You see, like how we've just had this moment. I think that there needs to be an honest conversation from both ends, so that we can better understand why we speak the money language that we speak. Because your language is not inherently bad. Neither is mine.
Yeah.
But how do we bring the strengths? It's better for us to bring the strengths of both those languages into one pot, so that we both feel like, okay, I'm able to express myself, my money language, and he's also able to express his money language, and we're both winning. We are taking the risks, but at the same time, we're thinking through them. We're building a structure around them. We're also leaving a base for us, just in case it's one of those moves that we miss. At least we have somewhere where we can start from. And I think building that bridge takes a lot of trust. We've talked about trusting your partner, that they know their way around their money language. Right? It's me understanding that whatever you're doing out there is to bring the back to the marriage, to bring the marriage up into a higher level. So there's an element of trust, there's an element of transparency, because some men or women also like to do like their own personal investments. Why do we do that actually? Why do we make... Is it a bad thing? Because when you gave the example, it came out as a good thing. Like, he's gone out there, he's made his investments, and he's brought back more to the marriage. But what about those ones that are done in secret and they don't work? Is it like a breach of financial trust that your partner was not included in the investment from the beginning? How do you fix that? That's why I feel like transparency in financial matters is more important than you going out there and expressing your money language, because you know how to work the risks.
I think one thing that a couple should come back to is that who is this money for at the end of the day? Who am I winning for?
I mean, you're winning for the marriage, it's true.
Yeah.
But there are those investments that are made that do not work for the marriage.
Yeah.
And there are those investments made out there and they work. And your partner does not know that a cool 50 million has entered your offshore account and you're using it to do your own projects. So there's it's like the sword cuts, both ways.
Yeah, because
But I lean towards transparency.
I think at the end of the day is, as I said, who wins at the end of the day. And if I believe that if we go back to our first marriage kindergarten class, which is that we are friends.
Yeah.
We are in this together, basically. If we are in this together, we are lifing together, as you like to put it. If we are lifing together, then our conversation will be like, okay, fine, I have got this investment. I've been told to go and put in money in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'm thinking if I put money in the Hong Kong Stock Exchange, I'll get a cool $2 million. Yeah. Okay, fine. How much do you want to put in? I want to put in $30 million. I don't think it's a good idea. But have you done your due diligence? I want us to make the money. And I don't want to stop you. But have you done your due diligence? Now, we need to have the boldness to have a conversation in a language and a tone. Because one thing about money is this, and I'm talking this about especially anyone who has got money, anyone who has made money in their life. Yeah. One thing that money does to a person, that's why they call it the revenge of the geeks. The guys who got it. One thing that money does in your life is money gives you a voice. Yeah. You like it or not, money gives you a voice. No one who has money wants to be controlled. No one. That is why when you get a job, you want to move out of your mother's house. Yes, you might not be earning 10 million. Yeah. But even though you're earning 5,000 bob, you want to live by yourself. Why? Because whenever you have money, you feel you have a voice. You have a voice and you have a choice.
Yeah, options.
Yeah, I have options. And I don't want to be controlled. Yeah. Now, the danger in marriage is that, and that's what you talked about at the beginning, but when you talk about cash, for example, when the man earns more, the lady wants to come in and be like, why? And if you look at it, it's a very simple thing. Why do they fight about in that time? Because the man is in a place he's thinking, you want to control how I want to spend. Yeah. And the lady goes and says, and in a weird way, she's also trying to control how it goes.
Is she trying to control? Okay.
I'm saying in a weird way. I'm not saying it's wickedness.
Yeah. I mean, it depends on the context.
Yes.
Because there are those women who definitely just want to manipulate the whole process.
Yeah. But I'm just, as I've said, I've also put in a weird way. Yeah. Because she'll tell the guy, let's sit and let's plan this money. The guy says, okay, fine. I know us, we are talking to all couples now. Yeah. So let's take the general obvious couple. This guy says, fine, me, I want my cash. Every Friday, every Saturday, I'm out with the boys. He's like, no, you spend too much money outside. You spend too much money with the boys when you go out maybe to drink or whatever. And the guy thinks, wait a minute. So you hear an argument. And now these arguments begin. So you find that what is it about? She's not coming from a bad place in saying let us budget. Yeah. But now because she's come with the idea let us budget, now the guy feels she wants to control and I have a voice now. I feel I have worked hard enough to have a voice. I feel that my wallet gives me a voice. I left my mother's house to have a voice. Now I'm here, I'm being told, you're spending too much money on Friday nights. You're spending too much money on Saturday nights. Other men are building houses. Where are you? and the guy looks and says, you don't go with me to the club. How many houses have you built? Wow. You see? So an argument begins there. Yeah. You look at something else as well. Maybe he wants to say, I want to buy myself a shoe. Yeah. I want to buy myself perfume. I want to buy myself a watch. How much is a watch? Yeah, 40,000.
Yeah, but isn't that something that can be resolved by budgeting?
Now,
I mean, if you have your miscellaneous to go, do your relaxation with the boys, and me, I have my portion to go and do whatever it is I want to do, that kind of mellows that down, no? I'm fighting for the budget.
I know you're fighting for the budget. Yeah. But here's the thing. As I'm talking about budget, I'm talking about life philosophy. And we're dealing with average couple. Yeah. How do you get this average couple to meet on the table about that? This person, you're telling this person, you have your miscellaneous, you have your 20K miscellaneous. The other amount of money we're putting it in bank account X, Y, Z, W. I said, the guy thinks, oh, by the way, I've walked in, I'm seeing a nice shoe, I want to buy this shoe. To buy this shoe, I have a process. I want you just to go back a bit. We're going to the substratum of budgeting. Why couples fight?
Yeah.
People don't fight because the budget is bad. People fight because the budget takes away their voice.
No.
Yes.
How?
Because you see, to you who's saying that you are structured, you will feel that budgeting gives you a voice.
Gives you some peace of mind, not just
Piece
a voice.
Yeah. Now, put yourself in we're talking about a couple where couple 1A, where it's the man earning more than the woman. That's couple 1A. This couple 1A, this person is thinking, I have my ATM. Yeah. Now, I want to buy myself a pair of shoes. Yes. Now, I have to go have a family meeting.
No, you don't. Because when you discussed
You see now,
the budget,
you discussed the budget. And this you had not factored in the shoe.
Okay, so this is something that, during the course of the month, he's just bumped into and he really... What is miscellaneous for?
That is the point.
Yeah.
Now, there's miscellaneous.
Yeah.
The miscellaneous is 20,000. The person says 20K is mine. I want to go, this is for my relaxation. I want to go drink. If we are ladies for my hair stuff, I want to do my things. Then you've thought, no, I need to buy a new shoe. I want a new shoe. I've seen a good shoe that I like. I want to buy a new shoe.
Would you buy a new shoe every month?
You don't buy a new shoe every month.
So there's miscellaneous that's coming in the next month.
You see?
And it's probably miscellaneous from the last month.
Now imagine.
So maybe you've saved, maybe your miscellaneous was 20,000. You didn't use the miscellaneous from last month. You have like bulk that you've saved.
Did you see how people end up budgeting by themselves? You see now it ends up there.
Budgeting for yourself. You're working within your miscellaneous.
You see how the next family budget people run away.
A lot more.
The next family budget, the guy is off the table. The guy is off the table, gone. Next family budget, you think, okay, how much is rent? How much is power? How much is school fees? See, I've paid for those things. Now, because I'm saying this because on average, the conversation you hear from many marriages is this. You hear someone saying, and I'm talking from men's point of view. You hear a man saying, I've paid the bills, I've paid the house, I've paid for power, I've paid rent, I've paid school for the kids, I've done all that. I'm done shopping for the house. Now, why am I being asked to budget? What are you budgeting for? I've done what needs to be done. Yeah. What is the person fighting for? They're not saying I have a problem with the budgeting. Remember what I've said?
Yeah. What are they fighting for?
The critical issue is not the planning of the money because this person knows I have to pay rent and they pay. Yeah, most people who work will pay the rent. They fuel the cars.
Yes.
They pay school fees.
Hopefully.
Yeah. So what happens when people get tired and they say, I've done all these things. What do you want us to plan? What is the real issue? As I said, the real issue, if you go back to the substratum of it, is the control. Why will a lady who earns more not bring the money and say, let us budget this money?
I mean, there's women who do that.
Why? Because at the end of the day, with the money, because she earns more, there's a control she has in the house. There's a voice she has. She can say, no. The children are going to that school. I'm going to pay for it. Yeah. There's a voice she has. At the end of the day, as I said, I go back to the beginning. Before you got married, you earn money.
Yes.
When you earn money, that money bought you freedom. That money bought you a voice. That money bought you a level of control and a choice. Now, budgeting it work in a marriage, it should be working towards those same things that the person went to get a job for. If those two things meet in the table, then the budgeting for a family is easy. But when they don't meet at the table and the person feels like, for example, I'll give an example of a couple I saw. And I asked this guy was in business. And I asked him, okay, now you're not earning as much as your wife. Do you do budgeting? Like now we stopped doing budgeting. I asked him why. He said, well, now, she'll tell me why should we budget. I know what I should spend the money on. The same thing another man would say, why are we budgeting? I know what needs to be done. We need to pay rent. I've paid the mortgage. I've paid the car loan. I've paid the school fees. Why are we sitting to discuss about this money? Oh, no, why are we sitting to discuss?
So what's the middle ground? Because for me, honestly, when I hear you talking, it's like in my mind, I'm just focusing on that miscellaneous. Oh, you want control. You want flexibility. Well, you have flexibility within the structure that we've set to spend the money that you've been allocated for this month the way that you want. So that's the control that you have. Because it's saying the same thing. The bills have been paid. Everything has been, has been catered for. Everything is fine. There's food in the house. Children are in school. They have clothes. They have shoes. Like everything is catered for. I just have my allocation, my control to do whatever it is that I want to do. How is that not catering for the one who says they need control? I don't. That's the part I don't get.
Let me take
Or is
it
it
right.
just like, let's throw the budget out so that I feel I have control?
It's not throwing the budget out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's what?
It's not throwing the budget out. If you put a couple together, let me give you an example. Let's take an example, couple AB, me and you. I am earning 100,000 a month. You are earning 100,000 per month. Let's say it's same, 100. We sit down and okay, fine. What are our total expenses in a month? Everything done together is 40K a month.
Yeah.
Good. I say, okay, fine. While you're doing the budgeting, now let's talk about this miscellaneous. You're doing the budgeting. I want you to I'm putting this 40,000 down, which is for the bills, right? I want my miscellaneous to be 60. Out of the 100 that I earn, I want my miscellaneous to be 60. Because couples differ on that. It's always on that. Every couple I've sat down with, that's where they differ on.
So it's the
they
amount.
Don't differ on the need. They differ on the part that you have worked for your money.
Yes.
At the end of it all.
Yes.
After you have worked for your money, you want the freedom within responsibility to spend your money. So that's the bottom truth.
Yeah.
At the end of it all. At the end of it all, if you earn your money and I come and I tell you, give me 100,000 of your hard-earned money, yes, we have a discussion. We have to sit down and talk about it. So when you look at this picture, you see a situation, and you see a situation where a couple differ because you find that this particular man or this particular man is thinking we need to, as I said, 100,000 shillings. 40,000 has gone to the family budget. We have budgeted everything.
Yes.
Our budget is 80,000 a month.
Yes.
We have put in our food. You have done it.
40. I put 40, you put 40.
Everything is catered for school fees.
So 60
I say
is
now.
how much has gone into saving?
Now me, I want 60.
How much has gone?
You see?
Has the 40 taken account of the saving?
Yeah.
Then, if it's something that we can agree,
That's what I'm saying. That
Yeah.
is why couples fight. Because I'm saying that if you look at the average couple, I'm talking about me and you. You see, me and you have had our fights.
Yeah.
We've had our fights. We've fought about it. The money pulled it, whatever did it. I snuck out when spent money came back, spent the miscellaneous. But the average couple, if you look at it that way, it's always the issue of now. This way it becomes a different issue because you find that a woman, for example, in a marriage, can boldly say, this money is my bonus, and I want to go buy with it 1, 2, 3, 4 things for my hair.
yeah,
The way we are naturally wired is this: the man will say nothing. The man will say nothing. He'll actually ignore.
really,
The man will say nothing. There's no man who will start telling the wife, "You're spending 50,000 on hair." He'll ignore. It's a man who spend the money on hair. Flip it over in a marriage. Take time, breathe in, do some yoga. Don't think about it. Think of a normal couple. Don't think of those who are born again. Okay, the born again ones are worse.
wow.
Just think about money. I want to say, I'm spending this amount of money on this, and the man will keep quiet. He won't say a word.
Is the man earning more than?
Even though he earns more or less.
I think there would be a problem if he was earning less than she was, and she wanted to spend, however ridiculous amount of money on something that he does not even consider to be important. I think then there'd be an issue. But if he's earning more,
any man in his right mind will not say a word. He'll keep quiet. Now, where it becomes an imbalance in the marriage is that the man normally expects the same courtesy.
Oh.
Now, that is where the...
Sorry.
I want to buy. Why do you want to buy a shoe for 12,000?
Well, I mean,
aren't there shoes for 2,000? You need shoes now.
We need to understand. We need to come to the level where we're understanding why you need to spend that much money on that particular thing. And you're also free to, I mean, when I was spending my bonus, why didn't you?
But that's life philosophy. I'm just saying it's life philosophy. Because also when you talk about budgeting, you have to go down to wiring.
Yeah.
You have to go down to the wiring. You have to go to the wiring of how men are with money and how women are with money. So when you're talking about budgeting and why we fight, we have to reconcile those two things. You have to reconcile also our genders play a very big role.
A huge role.
A very huge role on how we spend money and how we look at money. We've talked about, previously we talked about our upbringing, we talked about how you were raised and how I was raised. That also should meet on the table. Number 3 also, we should look at what was I buying with my money. When I got money and you got money, what was I buying? You see?
Also, there's something we haven't discussed. How a partner treated their spouse
when they didn't have money.
When they didn't have money and they had money.
Yes.
That's also a huge gap.
That's a huge one.
Because I think we've had very many cases of it was bad when, especially it's often when the man does not have money.
Oh yes, preach. There are men now are saying preach.
The woman is earning more money than the man. It's like there's not a lot of respect going. There's a lot of decisions being made, solo decisions being made by the woman who has the money. I don't know. Sometimes I don't know what happens when a woman feels that there are more wisdom to be like, okay, I'm earning more, but I'm earning more for the marriage, for the family, and does not make her husband feel like they're not on the same page. There are cases, no? I know real life cases. I know. I don't know about you.
I think I've been around for long. I've done this work for many years. But the issue is that, and this is the thing that we have to be bold enough to examine. And I think to me it was liberating. I think at the end of the day, that the bold thing we have to look at in a marriage is that you wake up in the morning, I wake up in the morning, we go to work. From my experience, the couples who actually have very good relationships about money are the couples who have built a family business together. Those ones are normally very different because there is a place where they have bled together. They understand. I'm saying this from experience because if I look even the couples I've given you the examples of, you look at them, they have built a business from scratch together. They are together, they work together, they build it together. You find that both of them have access to the account. Both of them have the level of security, the level of knowledge, level of accountability. You have seen this person put in the risk and the risk yielding fruit. You trust them because they jumped to got here. There are many things you've seen each other in the I was telling that couple once, the one of you is tactical, the other is technical. They said, me, I'm the one who's the tactician. I get people into the deal, and that's the technical work. They have built a synergy because they have bled together. Now, at the end of it all, when we remove all theory and we be practical as human beings, I know we are Christians, but let's be practical today. Where the biggest fight comes about is the reality is this. The reality is that you left in the morning to go and work. That's the bottom line. At the end of the day, when you come home with your check, you don't want someone to sit across the other room and start dictating to you
how you should spend it.
A part of your humanity gets, and that's the thing that couples refuse to put on as a truth. When couples grow up, they sit and say something. You know what? You got up in the morning. You went at meeting for 8 hours. At the end of the day, yes, you have a level of say over your money than I do. And I have a level of say over my money than you do because we both went out to look for it. when we looked for it, one of us got more, the other one got less. The one who got more does not want to feel in any manner of way as though their life is being put down because they are compromising because of the other who did not get more. And the one who did not get more doesn't want to feel like they are being put down because they never got more. But the bottom line is this, is that you went for that board meeting. You sat in that desk the whole day.
Yeah.
You did. The first thing another thing a couple should do is to respect the hustle of the other.
Of course.
You are the one who went to sweat.
Of course.
And at the end of the day, when I begin to suggest about finances, the first thing we should agree on, and this I've seen as a practical, first thing I agree on is this. Where do we meet? This is what the family needs. 1, 2, 3, 4, there, that is out of the way. Now, the other part we need to come in is this. I don't need you to feel that I'm a threat to your finances. And neither should I feel you're a threat to my finances. That is why this lady will go to work, earn her money, keep her PIN numbers and her ATMs near. You will not know what's in that account.
Yeah.
But I'll pay for that. What needs to be paid, I'll pay. I'm not coming from a bad place. But I'm afraid that I have worked. And the way I have worked hard, a part of me is thinking, hii pesa tutakula na nani? I can give you then potentially now you give your sister who I don't like. All those things come to play in the mind of a person. You give
a lot of things. I think a lot of variables come into play. But there has to be some level of transparency and openness when it comes to finances. I'm trying to see some practical ways in which we have done it. In those seasons when maybe I've brought more to the table than you have, even on the seasons when you brought more than I have had. But I kind of feel like one constant thing that has kind of held us all together is that we have a common understanding that whatever is coming financially is for the family.
The benefit of the home, yeah.
For the benefit of the home. And I've seen you time and time again assure me that whatever it is you are doing is for the benefit of the home. And I think financially that has given me some form of peace that even though you're taking those risks, you're not doing it because, you're following a trend. Because I think sometimes we follow a lot of, invest here, this is going to be da-da-da. But I've seen you in your risk-taking, you've been extremely meticulous. You're very strategic. You think on your toes. You think as you're falling into the risk and you're calculating and you're making all these things. And I've come to appreciate that about you. In the beginning, I didn't understand it so much. And I feel that your strength financially, your money language has really grown in the marriage. And I feel like we've had those spaces where you've also let me express my money language without making me feel like maybe it's not moving us very fast. We're doing too much thinking, we're doing too many calculations, whereas you can make the thinking and the calculations as you're doing the risk. So I think there has to be a very deep level of understanding of both persons' money language. There has to be deep trust that this person knows what they're doing. That's a tricky one. And this person wants the best. I think the core of it is the person wants the best for the marriage. And whatever they're doing financially out there is to bring in more for the marriage. Sometimes it doesn't work out. But what was my motive? What was the reason why I made this investment? It was because I needed to do this for the benefit of the marriage. Also, just transparency. I think transparency is really big for me. But I've also learned in the marriage to trust your financial decisions. At the beginning, it was very hard because...
Oh, hard.
It was very hard because of, how I was brought up. Like, this is what has come in. I'm assigning this. At the end of the month, I have this savings. And I'd go. I'd never feel like, I don't have anything to hold over to the next cycle until the next one comes in. I've always grown wanting to have a cushion, wanting to have, like, I have my savings. If anything, like, does not work out mathematically, I have something to push, to lean on. Or if I want to get something extra within the month, I can, because it's just there. I just want it to be there. And as much as I'm spending, I'm also, putting the money into savings. So I've seen in our marriage different seasons in our marriage where both our money languages has really helped our family and enriched our financial base. And I'm just excited to see, I don't know if the word is excited, but I'm open to see you express yourself, to express your money language and also input my touch as well. I think when we bring both of them onto the same page, then we get much more for the marriage.
Actually, at the end of the day, I think that the times when we put our strengths together, we get more results. And I think you've hit it on the head. It's that thing of understanding. I think the first thing we do, we tend to criticize the other person's language. That's what many couples do.
Yeah.
You criticize their language. You criticize their business acumen. But I'm doing it for the family. And if I'm doing it for the family, I will make mistakes. That's a fact.
Yeah, we're human.
Yeah, people will lose money. They will invest and lose money. But they didn't set out to lose the money. They wanted to multiply the money. And in the process, they lost it.
May I remember that?
Yeah.
If such a scenario.
Yes.
Comes up again.
No, may I pray to multiply.
May that come.
I just pray to multiply.
If we were hoping for this and it didn't happen, and maybe we got, let me remember you saying that I did not set out to lose this.
Yeah, because that's the thing,
if it happens, God, don't let it happen.
Because at times people get couples, the people who blacklist others.
Yeah.
And they blacklist each other, but it's not because of that. Just because that I need to know that I know that this is what you wanted. You wanted the family to prosper.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone gets married to say, I want to enter marriage and be financially down for the rest of my life. I want to rise. There's a woman who wants to rise, a man who wants to rise. I think that mind that let me understand before I criticize. If I understand before I criticize, then it's easy for there to be a safe space for the person to be transparent and say, listen, I got $1 million shillings and I decided to get into Uber business and it's not working.
Yeah.
What do? There's always room for that. Or I'm going to start an Uber business. Okay, have you done your homework? Yes, I've been told by Nani it's a good business. That's your due diligence. I think let's calculate the cost. Okay, so this is my suggestion. But proceed.
Yeah.
If you win, we win. But if you lose as well, we are losing together. I'll still be here to tell you, let's pick ourselves up. Life is about a journey. We're not defined by where we fell. Get up, we go.
Amen.
Get up, we go.
Amen.
Yeah.
That is so sober. That is so sober. That is so grounding, baby. But what about those non-starters? In those marriages where a woman is married to a man who's just...
Say the word.
A man whose greatest asset is just himself. Like, he's God's gift. It's God's gift to the universe.
Hold it.
And that's it. Like, I mean, I think we need a topic, a day's topic to just discuss. Because what you're saying is sober, it's sound. But how does a marriage survive when one partner does not want that flourishing, does not want the growth, could not be bothered, is literally happy to sit at home and let the woman run the show, even though she's trying to pour into him and invest and help him? He's just not interested.
That would be a good discussion for
I think we should discuss it. Yeah.
I've thought about it.
It's a tricky one.
The gift in the marriage is himself. Hey, and it's Jesus.
It starts and ends. Like, I ain't got nothing else. It's me.
As good as it gets, you have me. Thank God for me. Do you know how many people are fighting for me outside there?
Hey.
They are waiting for you to get out.
Exactly.
But anyway, I think that's something to actually look at. Yeah,
look at.
There's something about that we need to look at as well. As someone who is a lady who's running or wanting to live a particular lifestyle and the person is not picking up.
Yeah.
I think that would be something
We
else
should
to
look at that.
Yeah, next week definitely. I think guys have something to talk about next week. Yes.
Super.
Good.
Yeah.
Another few remarks.
Uh-huh.
Let's go spend my miscellaneous.
Let's go spend it. Let's go spend it. Yeah.
That is Marriage Kindergarten. I am Victor Salamba.
And I'm Hayes Salamba. Join us again next week for Marriage Kindergarten. Leave your comments below. Like, subscribe, and share with everybody. We all need this. We need these ABCs of making marriage work.
Stay blessed. See you next time.